This video explains the manual installation of OpenSIMPLY for Lazarus on Windows. In this video, the 64-bit Windows is used. It is assumed that you already have the downloaded OpenSIMPLY package. This package is a regular zip archive containing a folder structure. Since MS Windows blocks some files from being received from the internet, you may receive a warning message when you run .exe files. The contents of the OpenSIMPLY CHM documentation file may also not appear when you open it. To prevent this, unblock the OpenSIMPLY package after downloading. Open the context menu by right-clicking on the OpenSIMPLY zip file. Click the Properties item. Click the Unblock button at the bottom of the General tab. Click OK button. Unpack this archive to the preferred location. For example, to the desktop. You can use any location you want. If you trust an unsigned setup program on Windows, install OpenSIMPLY automatically. Click on the annotation if it appears right now at the top of the video, or use the link in the description of this video. Go to the unpacked OpenSIMPLY folder, then Bin, and then Windows. To create models with OpenSIMPLY, you will need the following units with the PA extension: Symbase, Symblocks, SymStdGUI, and CMT. These unit files are not included in the distribution by default. They must be prepared from the src files, which contain source code with intermediate format comments. The unit files can be prepared with the normal / comments that Lazarus will recognize as tooltips. They can also be used as regular comments. Or the unit files can be prepared without comments. Here are the batch files you can use to prepare OpenSIMPLY units. The Lazarus_tooltips bat file for the / comments. And the pure_source code bat file to prepare OpenSIMPLY units without comments. Let's launch the Lazarus_tooltips batch file. The units have been prepared. You can prepare the source file with another type of the comments anytime. OpenSIMPLY model cannot run without the CMT coroutine manager, which comes as a shared library. So, the CMT shared libraries for the debug and release configurations must be copied into the Windows System folder. Go to the lib subfolder of the OpenSIMPLY folder, and then Windows. If you have a 32-bit Windows, then go to the 32 subfolder. If you have a 64-bit Windows, then go to the 64 subfolder. Copy the CMT.dll and CMT_dbg.dll files from this folder to the System32 subfolder of the Windows folder. You may be prompted to confirm this action. In this video, the 64-bit Windows is used, so the library file from the 64 subfolder must be copied. If you want also create the 32-bit models on 64-bit Windows, go to the 32 subfolder. Copy the CMT.dll and CMT_dbg.dll files from this folder to the syswow64 subfolder of the Windows folder. You may be prompted to confirm this action. Keep in mind that if you just want to test OpenSIMPLY, the tutorial projects can be run regardless of the CMT library installation. In order not to specify paths to OpenSIMPLY units in your projects, OpenSIMPLY must be built. Go to the lib subfolder of the OpenSIMPLY folder, then PA, and then Lazarus. Here are the batch files you can use to build OpenSIMPLY. If you have a 32-bit Windows, launch the build_OpenSIMPLY_Lazarus_Win32 bat file. If you have a 64-bit Windows, launch the build_OpenSIMPLY_Lazarus_Win64 bat file. If you have a 64-bit Windows and want also create the 32-bit models, launch the build_OpenSIMPLY_Lazarus_Win_all bat file instead. This video uses 64-bit Windows, so let's run the latter batch file. A warning will appear. The C/Lazarus32 folder is expected to contain the 32-bit Lazarus. In this batch file, it is assumed that the 32-bit Lazarus is located in the Lazarus32 folder of drive C, and the 64-bit Lazarus is located in the Lazarus64 folder. If necessary, Edit the build_OpenSimply_Lazarus_Win_all bat file, and change the folder names. Press Enter to confirm. A 32-bit OpenSimply configuration is being built. The 32-bit Lazarus was successfully built for both configurations. Confirm the location of 64-bit Lazarus. A 64-bit OpenSimply configuration is being built. The 64-bit Lazarus was successfully built for both configurations. To verify the OpenSimply installation, the test project should be run. Go to the Test OpenSimply. Click the Test Debug project. Run the project. The OpenSimply build for current configuration should be displayed. The test passed. Run this test for other platforms and configurations. Installation testing is complete. If you are not familiar with OpenSimply, then start with the OpenSimply tutorial. Go to the tutorial subfolder of the OpenSimply folder, and then Lazarus. Run the tutorial 1A project. The pop-up help is, of course, a very useful feature, but more complete information, including examples, can only be found in OpenSimply documentation. The documentation is located in the Doc subfolder of the OpenSimply folder. Good luck in simulation modeling.